Okay, that's weird. Hold on, wait a second. I got technical issues. As always, never gonna go the way I want it to. Why is that still playing? Uh-oh, hold on. No, 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 no. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't know I had my YouTube channel up playing that. So I was getting a little bit of back echo there. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. Let's try this again. Welcome to another episode of Man's Night, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. As you know, I'm your host, Jay, and we have an interesting podcast for you guys here tonight, as always. And we are here to discuss problems. And believe it or not, we all have them, despite what they are, whether it's prison-related or non-prison-related. We have problems. But believe it or not, just with like problems, we also have solutions. Yeah, that's correct. And we're going to be talking about everything that we can under that topic here tonight. And as you guys can see in the title description, guys, we have a special guest who's going to be in the chat tonight. He did try, believe it or not, guys, he did try to get involved with the live panel here tonight. But unfortunately, due to situations on his end, that's obviously beyond his control, he can't be in the live panel, but he will be in the chat tonight. So I hope you guys can understand that. With that being said, let's go ahead and greet everybody real quick. It's in the chat now with me. I appreciate you guys being here. Tim, man, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for being here, Tim, man. I appreciate you. I hope everything's going good in your neck of the woods as it is here with me. So thank you so much for being here. Truthful Tam gets in here and says, hi, everyone. Love light to all. Absolutely. Amen to that. Thank you, Tammy. And it's good to see you. Hope you're doing good, too, over there in Texas. Tim Man gets in here real quick and says to respond to Tammy and says, truth to him, it really lifts our spirits when you say that. Thank you. Absolutely. And she replied and said, I hope so. You're welcome. And our good friend Vicky Bailey, how you doing, Vicky? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you too, as always. She said hello. She said hello, Jay, and everyone else. And then, of course, Tim Man said hello, Vicky. And Tim Man says have a lot of problems. And we all do. Keep that in mind for tonight's podcast, guys. We all do. And the only way we can resolve the problems is obviously, like I said before in past podcasts, we got to, hold ourselves accountable, transparency, know what's right, what's wrong, and just deal with what happened in your life as a whole. And I'm speaking for everybody, not just a select few of people. This is not an attack on anybody. This is just a podcast to try to make you understand that, hey, we all suffer and have problems in our life. And the only way we can conquer them is that we have enough ability and faith and positivity in our life to do so. If you can't do it alone, find somebody that you can trust, that can back you, and all of that. All right, guys? Tammy said this. Hi, Vicky. And good friend John is in here. Hey, John, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for being here. Again, I appreciate you being here, too, as well. I'm not seeing the restream link. Okay, I will put it up here in just a second, Tammy. Just bear with me 1 second. It was up earlier. I don't know why it disappears, but it is what it is. And excuse me, Tammy said, hi, John. And then, of course, Trey Stone. Hey, Trey, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for being in here. And again, like always, I hope you're doing good over there in where you're living at. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get that link up real quick. I don't know why it disappears. That is awkward. I'm hoping I don't have any technical issues, guys. So let's get that up. There it is, Tammy. There's the link for you guys to get involved. So hit that. If you want to come up on the panel and have a chit chat with me, please do. There it is. We don't have anything really technically to show data-wise up on the screen for you guys here tonight. But we're definitely going to do a open session chat with everybody that's involved tonight. Hopefully, our guest will be in here tonight. And if you guys follow him, I'm sure he appreciates that. If you haven't followed him, the link to his channel is in the description of this video. I highly suggest you go check him out and go show some support with his channel. I'm sure he'd love it and appreciate it nonetheless. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and open this up. Tam, if you want to get up on the live panel and discuss this, please do. The floor is yours, or the choice is yours, I should say. Well, both, floor and the choice. So I'll wait for you to get up, if you can, please. Yes, that's everybody in the chat, by the way. Absolutely. Just to clarify, that's what Tammy just said. Thank you, Tammy, for that. She said that's everybody in the chat, by the way. Absolutely. So we're not, directing all of this podcast type material tonight on anybody directly. It's everybody. So just so you know that. All right. Because, like I said, education is key. Tammy says it too, just like I do. Education is important. And if we don't continue, guys, to educate ourselves on, topics that, can be tough or hard to swallow, we're never going to get anywhere in life. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and welcome Tammy to the show. How's it going, Tammy?
Hi. I'm an anxious person tonight just with everything that's going on with Rick right now.
I understand.
I haven't heard anything. They just to update everybody, if I have just a sec.
Go ahead, Tammy. It's all yours. Go ahead.
It's really weird. He called me at 1:00 in the morning, said I'm catching Shane, and then I was like, okay. We said our goodbyes and everything, and we had that whole bus burn in Texas not too long ago.
I know.
And then so that made me nervous, and they're taking a whole bus load. And then I was like, okay, I'm there with you. Just remember, I'm just right there, And then he's like, 6:30 this morning, calls me, and he's like, we're still here. And then at 1:30 he calls me, and he's like, we're still here. And they had him in the day room this whole time, since 1:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. And then he calls me at 3:42. He's like, we're still here. And I haven't heard from him since. So I guess they probably caught Shane, because he would have called me by now.
That doesn't seem right. That they're usually chains in the morning. Chain buses usually in the morning, and they don't drag on that unless there was an issue somewhere. But I've never heard somebody waiting that long to get on the chain. That's weird.
Apparently, what I understand in Texas, they travel like in the middle of the night, which we have a lot of traffic here. I mean, not that Florida doesn't, but a lot of times they'll travel at night, like in the middle of the night. So I'm wondering if something happened last night and they had to shuffle and get another bus or what have you.
Maybe it's cooler.
They're stuffing them in there like sardines too.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's cooler at night. But
now.
Yeah, I know, but it's completely understandable, and we're here for you, Tammy, nonetheless. All right,
so I appreciate it.
Just keep us updated on anything that's going on, and I'll do what I can to be there. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody, as you know, the topic tonight is about problems, issues, whatever you want to address it, or how you want to bring it up. I don't have any data for tonight's for screen sharing, but we can open this up to everybody that obviously want to discuss in some form or fashion about our problems, or any problem for that matter. It don't have to be prison related. So this is basically, in a sense, like open mic night for everybody to have their questions and answers tonight. So what do you think about that?
I love it. I love the idea of open forum anyway. I'm like that. I like the open mic, because each one of us is an individual human being.
Yeah.
And we all have different scenarios. Like I'm by myself, just me and my dog, and you're there with your wife and your 2 kids and your problems that you have with that whole complexity of your life and how you live, and that we all have different things, that we go through, different stresses, different triggers. How do we cope?
Hey, Debbie Tober is on here, and I know a lot of you are not going to see Debbie's comments because she's on Facebook, believe it or not.
Hi,
and
Debbie.
But she's here. Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Carry on, Tim.
But one of the things I noticed, that's what I have to do all day, is solve other people's problems and fix them, taking the claims and things like that, and fixing mistakes and trying to do things to help other people. But here's the thing for me, I have noticed a trend at my job, and I want people to really hear this really clearly.
Mhm.
As far as like, I mean this from my heart. A lot of people will call in and they'll need to file a claim for mental health,
Mhm.
and they feel ashamed to do that. What can we do? I don't know if anybody in the chat can join this conversation, but m- what can we do to help solve the problem and the stigma with someone who has mental health issues, that they have to feel ashamed or not want to talk about it like it's the plague? And
Right.
they shouldn't be. I commend them and I admire them for recognizing that they have something they need help with and they're getting help,
Right.
professional help. What is
Uh,
wrong with that?
right. No, absolutely nothing wrong with that. That takes actually, believe it or not, it takes a lot of guts and nerve and whatnot to even come out and say I need help. And you got to give that person, whoever's asking for it, a lot of respect because it takes a lot of it is pride and everything else that gets in the way with that. And but you hit that on the nail because obviously I come across people in certain circumstances that ask for help. I can't say, nope, you're not getting none from me today. No, I have to sink down whatever issue and pride and whatnot I have and say, okay, here's my open mind. Here's my open heart. Let's hear your side of the story. What can I do for you? And again, I do this because keep in mind, I'm no doctor. I'm no, mental professional in any way, shape, or form, guys. But I have a heart. As you guys know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, like Tammy and everybody else. And what we do is we listen and we give them we give them the chance and opportunity to tell their side of the story and what's going on in their life. Everybody has problems, and we don't stand up with each other. How are we ever going to be a community? So
Exactly.
you
I Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
And the one thing that I really feel like is very important for people to understand,
correct, Tin Man.
it is humanity, and the
Our
word
guest is
humanity.
Sorry to
Hi.
cut you off, Tammy. Our
No,
guest
go
is in
ahead.
here, Modern Day Leaper. Welcome to the show, Modern Day Leaper. I appreciate you being here.
Yes, thank you for being here. We really love that you have taken the time out to come and join us tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
So I
Go ahead.
think if I had to say anything, the one thing that I hate about the prison system is that's the biggest and most targeted thing of value that they take from inmates is their humanity, compassion, and understanding.
Correct.
And it changes some of the most wonderful people. I mean, and I know that there's people that can take the negative and make it such a wonderful thing and make it a
Correct.
positive thing. I've seen that too. But I think that as far as the powers that be that control everything in there, they
Mm-hmm.
strip the humanity from them. And a lot of people do suffer from mental illness, and what a change it could be. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
like we're always preaching that you can't teach love with hatred and vigilantism and shaming and the whole running craze down the street to put a noose around somebody, or to the pitchforks and the that's what it makes me think
Yeah,
of, and
no,
I hate it. I
no.
absolutely hate it.
I'm not laughing what you said. I think that I'm maybe laughing at the word pitchforks because because you hit that on the nail. Because back in the day, believe it or not, that's how things were handled. Believe it or not, I just
It
visualize
was.
that. Yeah. So, anyways, real quick, guys. Debbie said absolutely. So she's agreeing with your conversation there, Tammy. My son is going through it. Bam. So if you guys don't know who Bam is, Bam, I believe, is in now. Again, I'm having a brain fart, and I feel like I'm like my brain's in the cloud or
Bam
fuzz. So if
is
I get,
in TDCJ. He has been going through
yes, I
some
was going to say Alabama.
terrible stuff they've been doing to him.
Yes, but nonetheless, I feel bad for the guy. He's in there going through a lot of crap. He just got done, or he's still doing it, I think, hunger strike. So anyways, thank you, Debbie, for being here. I appreciate you nonetheless. John Doe said this, and Tammy, I don't know. Can you see John's? I want to make sure everybody can see the chat before we go any further. Can you see
Yeah, I
John's?
can.
Did you want to read that real quick?
I can.
Okay, thank you.
Psychology is a young science, hence misunderstood by professionals. It's like the theoretical physics. When you're sure you know something, you often don't. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Freud would be the prime example of that, John. Um, it's hard because they kind of like intake, if you think about it. When you went in, and others that are in the chat that have been in and been through it, you've got this person across from you judging you basically, and
Correct.
trying to analyze and pull you apart based on the information they're given, which we all know in a lot of instances is twisted, turned, and wrapped around a couple of different shades of corruption. And they didn't live. I was talking to somebody today about childhood trauma. They did not live through every person's childhood trauma. They don't know where somebody that came into this world innocent and wonderful, that they themselves, somewhere along the line, got screwed up from things that happened and weren't ever taught how to heal properly.
Yeah. Now, you're correct. And Debbie just said this in the chat, not to kind of go off topic here, but Debbie said this. He is the author of No Hostage Beyond This Point, which is an awesome book. I haven't gotten my copy yet. I need to. I'm just been so dang busy and obviously financially strapped. But nonetheless, guys, I wish I could have the link be put up in here. I don't at the moment. I have no idea why my chat's only showing up.
Debbie, could you possibly, do you have the link to his book? If not, by next show we'll have it, because I'll
try to get the link up in here before this show's over. Anyways, just for everybody. So if you guys want that book, you can check it out. I heard it's a very good read. Nonetheless, but we're definitely going to try to get things taken care of here tonight. This is where you guys all have an opportunity to have your voice heard. Nonetheless, it's not my podcast. It's all your guys' podcast too. So let's get into it. Trey Stone said this: I was depressed, but had no idea. A psychologist told me I thought depression was sad and suicidal, but it's what robs you of energy and self-medicate with vice or crime. That's interesting. What do you think about that, Tammy? Thank you, Trey.
I have to look at it. I'm sorry. I was depressed and had no idea. A psychologist told me I thought depression was sad and suicide. Well, I mean, listen, it's kind of like everything else. You think about bereavement, the loss of a loved one.
Hey, Curtis,
everybody bereaves differently. Some people, they think because they don't cry that they don't have any empathy. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. I mean, so how we represent our feelings is not going to be exactly the way I'm going to have my feelings about something's going to be different than the way Jay is. Yeah. And we're not taught to recognize those signs. And with depression, unfortunately, there's a lot of physical things that happen that go on with it too. And we have to think our feelings integrate with our brain. So therefore, it is going to affect us physically because our brain operates all our body systems. So it would deduce for one to think that, hey, we all are going to react differently to the same situation. We're all going to have a different reaction.
Correct.
And none of us are wrong because
we shouldn't be. And Tammy, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but we shouldn't be chastised or ridiculed for it either for differences on that. But I get what you're saying, absolutely. And then Debbie Tober, who's in here, there's the link to that book. I don't know if I'll pin it. So listen, guys, redeeming, whoever's in the Google chat section right now, can you guys take that link from Debbie and save it so I can have it for later. I know I had it, but I misplaced it. But nonetheless, thank you, Debbie, for putting it up. I appreciate you. So yeah, and then Curtis said this real quick. I'm going to communicate here with you guys just a second. Curtis said, I have watched your podcast. Yes, Curtis have watched MDL, which stands for Modern Day Leaper. And then we'll go from there. And then Debbie said, thank you. Absolutely. We're all here as a team. We're all here to work. We're all supposed to do what we can to make a better, system. And when I say system, guys, I'm talking all things related to it: jail, prisons, courts, judges, attorneys, anything that's tied within the system. We need major reform / change. And the only way we're going to do that is have a, like you guys in the chat tonight, show, support, be there for us, like we did that podcast on Wednesday. Will the real advocate please stand up? I thought that was awesome, and we get a lot of advocates that say they're advocates and then turn around and do something completely negative. Well, to me, again, guys, that's not an advocate. If you missed that episode, I suggest you go over there and watch that. Kind of ties into this a little bit.
Yeah, we don't advocating and advocacy is not about the people up on this panel. It's not about the people in the chat. It's about the people that we're speaking for, who have no voice, who need the hand up, and it's about the subject matter at hand.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the things too that we have. I'm sorry, Rangers making lots of noise. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good. It's called life. We all live in it.
and so that's the whole thing, sometimes I feel like if I
Hey, Wanda.
stand with, I'm so glad she got to come. She had wrote me and asked me, so I sent her the link. Sometimes I want to be able to stand above the earth and scream down to everybody, can't you all just stop for just a minute, pay attention, and just, hey, hug the person next to you. Who doesn't need or want to be loved?
Well, we're starting to kind of lose sight on love and respect and positivity. We're getting more negative than anything. But then yet, who do you blame on spreading the negative? It's not just the humans. It's not just us as a whole. It's the mainstream media and everything else, spreading that crap around. So, I mean, how can we really truly get rid of it if it's always, somebody's going to continue to spread it around?
Well, that people, okay, so the people that run everything in the background, they control us, kind of. They control us. Mm-hmm. They do to a degree because they run everything, like economically. It hurts them economically, and it scares them and terrifies them for us to be organized, standing together for a cause. If you looked at any oppression or any oppressed place, if they can keep us down financially and they can keep us down mentally, or have us divided over race or divided over an issue, our country, I feel like, is like literally divided right now. I friends that I have known for 40 and 50 years that are not speaking to each other over this presidential election. And you know what? The people that are up there up on that big hill, they don't care. They like it because when there's division, they can conquer. They're fattening up their portfolios on our backs.
Yeah, I know why we sit here and suffer, and they're laughing at us. I know. Tim Man said, I have been suffering with depression. Yeah, we all do, my friend. Sorry if I've been taking any of it out of you guys. I'm not aware of any of that, but okay. I'm sorry too that if we can acknowledge what is going on in our life as a whole, I think life itself will be better if we could just, take a time out and look at things from a bigger picture. Absolutely. Real quick, thank you, Tim, for that. Searching for answers, which is Wanda. I have court date the 1st of August. So let's put the prayers up, guys. Court date in August. So I've been trying to focus on it and not get in a dark place. I understand. And Wanda, I'm not trying to sound like a negative person here, but you can reach out to all of us here if you need somebody to talk to when you get in that dark place. Because look, I'm not trying to sound like I'm being a hero, but we can't have any of these people in this community right now get in a dark place. We need, if you got something going on, reach out to people. We are all here for each other. It's not just one person, or favoritism or anything. You reach out to us and we'll be that listening ear. All right. That goes for Tammy and everybody. We all get in this dark place. The only way we can get out of it is somebody grabs you by the hand and pulls you out. If you don't have that, I know what it's like to be alone. But go ahead, Tammy.
So I'm kind of reading the chat and stuff, and MDL said that we cannot divide and anything good happen. John Doe agreed with them.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda, you know where I stand with you. If you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. I am definitely with you. We'll help you in any way, shape, or form possible. We got you. And
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I, I'd like to ask MDL something because I have not. I've kind of been on your channel a little bit, but I haven't. I work a full-time job and then I do advocacy and other things outside of that I'm dealing with. And I
Okay.
try really hard. I don't get a lot of time. But I wanted to ask if you could put in the chat, if you could respond, the healing process that you're going through with someone. Can you tell me how how do we get there? How do we get from where things were to that point in your perspective, in your mind's eye? What brings you there
Great
for
question.
encouragement for other people?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry if it's a lot of typing in
No,
advance.
no, take your time. This is I don't really technically. I usually do these podcasts for about an hour, but for tonight, I'm willing to make an exception. So we'll go with that. But yeah, if MDL can answer that, I would greatly appreciate it, my friend.
Okay, Wanda, I see it, and I'm here to tell you something. I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that mamas do, and it's a thing that single mamas do real well a lot of times. But let me tell you something. Every once in a while, it's okay to say yes to help. And it's okay to say, you know what?
I get
I
it. I'm right
feel
there
like
with
I'm
her.
fighting the world by myself, but you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know that from us. You are never going to be alone again in your life. You have a group here of
Mm-hmm.
support,
Yes.
love, understanding, non-judgment, non anything. We all love you.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
please, please, please feel that love from us. I'd give you a big hug if I could.
Yes, we all could. Well, how about a virtual hug? Um, there's your answer, Tammy. MDL said, step one, drop the ego. I completely like that answer. Short and sweet. Drop the ego. Because if you guys stop and think about it, sometimes ego, on top of everything else, gets in the way of our vision.
And
It
I
does.
love what Curtis is saying. He said, hang on, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. I'm so sorry. I have to remind myself God loves me. Yeah,
Yes.
you know what? It took me a long time. A lot of people tend to do this. My father was one of them. Curtis, my dad was a Vietnam vet. But when he was a very, very young man, he grew up with in poverty and to parents that were alcoholics. And I mean, we're talking the vanilla extract, breaking the vanilla extract out and rubbing alcohol and drinking it, alcoholics.
Gee, Christmas.
I know, it makes me cringe. But, you know, people that are addicted, you know, it's out of desperation. So my father when him and my mom got married, they had a little boy, and the child passed away in at out of
Yeah.
neglect of the hospital at the base. And my dad got angry. He was angry at God. He said, "What kind of God would let this happen?"
Well,
But what a lot of us forget to to remind ourselves in the whole God aspect of that, God didn't let that happen. We have a thing called
thank
free
you, Wanda.
will.
Thank you, Wanda. Go ahead.
Aw. We have a thing called free will. So
Hmm.
we make choices, and the unfortunately the nurse on duty that night, she made a choice, and she took and she left the children, the babies, the newborn babies, unattended, and he passed from choking on his own spit up, which babies do when they're newborn,
Yeah.
and that's how he suffered, and he passed. My dad was angry, and he never got over that anger for many years until he was on his deathbed in hospice, and he let God come back in. So that that's where God comes in sometimes, and in the most weirdest of ways, we have to remember it wasn't God that did that. It was the human nature of things and our free will.
Mhm.
People do things. I
Yeah.
don't,
No,
that's
absolutely.
just my opinion on it.
Yeah.
It is an opinion, but that's my take.
And our guest, real quick, said this: step two, see the other person's whole. Absolutely. You got to look past your little issues and whatnot. And
What was step one? Oh, drop the ego, and then
yeah,
say
drop the
step
ego.
two.
Step two, see the other person. And he also said step three, which is right here. I'll put it up on the screen. Step three, work to be a difference in the process of the healing. Absolutely. You got to fix yourself before you try to fix somebody else. Got to make sure your closet's clean of all negativity, including whatever skeletons you have in there, because you can't try to fix somebody and be, whatever it is that you're trying to be when you got, evil in your closet. So
And I
make
think
sure.
that's what's wrong with prison, right? I mean,
Yeah.
think about it.
Thank you,
The very
MDO.
CEOs, I'm sorry, the very CEOs that are running things, and that some of the wardens and some of the other things that are going on are doing really evil things. That's counterproductive of what we want to see to rehabilitate a person.
Hmm. Hmm. No, I agree.
Curtis.
See, Curtis said, I was angry at those who were ones to put me in prison and corrupt politicians. I don't blame you. So I'm the same way. Guys, I got screwed over by the system. Curtis got screwed over by the system. And the only way we're going to stop this, and forgive me for saying it, screw job, is that we need to stand up and go against these guys. They don't exist if it wasn't for us. Our tax dollars pay for their salary, including everything that's tied to it. So we are the ones, we have the power, believe it or not, even though it doesn't seem like it. We have the power to go against these guys. We just don't, because either we're afraid, intimidated, and whatever else we got going on. So yeah, it definitely needs to. We need more people to stand up against these corrupt politicians, so this stuff doesn't happen.
Well, and that's the whole thing behind like the housing crisis that
Mhm.
we've been working on as a team. Um, when I met you and what's his face over at the other podcast, I don't want to
Yeah,
give any glory to anybody. When I met y'all and I put that idea out there to you guys, it's because, listen, when people come out, they need a place to live. And I worked with a lot of homeless people, I still do. And one of the things is if you go up to, I went to this, sorry, they hold an annual thing in Corpus Christi, Texas for the
mhm,
veterans. It's a
yes,
homeless veteran specifically. They have the VA out there, they have the Texas Veteran Commissions, the VFW, the DAV. They have a place called Endeavors. They have
mhm,
all these groups come out. They have barbers come out. They have everything you can imagine comes out there, and they give them little kits and stuff. It's once a
yeah,
year.
yeah,
I almost lost it. Now, it takes, I do get passionate about what we do, but I almost lost it. One of the ladies at a booth, I'm not going to call anybody out because I'm not that way. That's not me. But this lady who is working for a nonprofit and all they do is give jobs to people, she was like, what in the world?
1 second, Trey Stone and Curtis. You guys asked the same. I think no, not Curtis.
Go
It
ahead
was.
and answer him. I can wait.
I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
No,
Um,
you're good.
but the guest can't come in tonight for your guys' information if you missed the portion of my intro. Because the situation on his behalf is where he's at is a little too loud and noisy, and it wouldn't be good per se on a live panel like Tammy is, because he doesn't have a quiet place to get at to do a live panel conversation. So he's only able to be in the chat tonight, guys. I do apologize. He told me that before the live started. He updated me, but he's here. You guys can ask him anything you want in the chat. And just fire away on that. I do apologize on any inconvenience, but his situation is beyond his control. Things are changing in the works, though, however. So next time when we do these shows and he wants to get up on the panel, he'll be able to. Right now, it's just bad timing. Hope that makes sense and you guys understand.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose. Thank you so much, Rose, for being here. I appreciate you.
So kind of what I was saying. So they held this big annual event. And one of the people, I was talking to a judge, a county judge, about us doing a village project for the homeless vets specifically. And she was on board, and we were going to really be able to do this. It was going to come to fruition. But this one lady said, well, why would we worry about that? We need to get them employed. I said, I had to explain to her, how are you going to employ somebody that doesn't even know where they're sleeping at night and doesn't know where their food is coming from, doesn't have basic necessities to be able to shower, to be able to be effective, to go and get a job? And she just looked at me like a deer in headlights. She couldn't understand, but that's very important. And modern day Leaper said something too. Right after that, I think you'll get it.
Yeah, let's see. I think it was just he said we will make it up. So he's definitely going to try to make it up when he's got a quieter place.
Yeah, and he said also before that, I think you missed it because it's moving so fast to chat.
Oh, it is.
Police shows are our nation's bet promo tool for law enforcement. Yep, I agree. Mm-hmm. And my father was a cop. Just a little background, and I agree with you.
Yeah. Look at all. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted with all of our people in here tonight. Look at the love and respect we're getting tonight, Tammy. This is overwhelming. I love it. I love every one of you guys. I really do. You guys make this community what it is, and the community, believe it or not, guys, it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. It's already getting big, and I love it. Just want to give a major shout out to Rose. I don't know if I said it, but hey, how you doing, Rose? Thank you so much for being here. She's in Australia, guys. If you guys don't know where she's living at, so it's morning time where she's at. Tim Mann said this: MDL, CSI, and the like are so far out of reality and only survive to radicalize people against the formerly. Yeah, it's a tongue twister for me. Against the formerly incarcerated. So that's a question, I guess, for MDL or CS. I'm not sure. But thank you, Tim Man. I know I got to work on my reading. Let's see what we got here. What else do we got here? We got Tim Man says, we love you too, Jay. I'm loved. I'm kidding. Good to see everyone. And Curtis says Rose has a good heart. Absolutely. What and I think it has something to do with the name Rose. I love roses. So, anyways, that was kind of corny.
Watch out now, Jay. Watch out.
I know. I'm trying to be nice. All right. So Rose said this for the chat. Waiting for an appeal. I'm so angry what they do to us. Rose, if you can, what appeal are you talking about? And maybe I can give you some insight that maybe you're not getting from anybody else? What appeal are you talking about? If you can put it in the chat.
Yeah, we have John here tonight. He might have some good insight too. Sorry,
Yeah,
John.
our
I'm throwing you out there again,
and I don't want
but
John to take this the wrong way, but I'll call him my legal beagle. I got a lot of respect for John. Man, I
I
love that
love
guy.
him. Me too. Let's see
Go
what
ahead,
else
Tammy.
was in there. No, I was trying to read it. I'm sorry.
I got you, Tim, man. I'm just giving you a bad time. Tim said, don't be afraid to accept God's free gifts. Oh, absolutely not. Every day. Absolutely. Curtis goes, okay, cornball Jay. Thanks, Dad. He's my new
Uh,
he's my new adopted dad, just so you guys know. I adopted him as a dad.
oh,
Because I do have a real dad, but he's never mind.
did you just say real?
What's that?
You just said real dad.
Yeah, well, no, I have a real
He's a
dad,
real
but
life boy.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking of Pinocchio.
Oh, you guys are
Sorry.
something else. No, you're good. Treestone said, "What's the status of Carrie, Tin Man? I signed up though, did not see much there." Great question, Treystone. Tin Man, I don't know if Tin Man will answer. I'll get it in the chat. Again, everything's time delayed. Tammy says the chat's going fast. It's going somewhat kind of slow on my end, but everybody's thing's different, so I don't know what causes that. So I'll get it. I'll get the answer here just a second. I'm waiting for an appeal against my criminal conviction. Okay, Rose, thank you very much. Keep me updated on that and how that goes. I wish you all the best of luck too, obviously. And if you don't want to, talk much about it here on the live chat, email me and update me through the email.
She said I was convicted this year of an offense that's 24 years old.
Okay, thank you.
Rose, what state are you in? Are you in the U.S.?
Nope, Australia.
Australia.
Yes.
John,
Yep.
do we know any kind of like where maybe we can get some information
I didn't
on
think they had.
anything that might help over there in Australia? Any links, any kind of
Yeah,
info law wise?
I'll share. If Rose, if it's okay with you, I'll share your email with Tammy so we can communicate back and forth. I didn't know. As weird as it sounds, I can't believe that country even has a registry. Unreal. That's amazing.
Oh, I just watched a show. It's on Rose probably knows it. It's called Wentworth. It's on Netflix, and it was so like over the top, some parts of it. I don't know what prison is like over there, so I'm just saying, for me, Rose, that a lot of that show, parts of it seem very unrealistic, and some parts seem like, yeah, that would happen. But
Okay.
it was called Wentworth.
Okay. Rose, if
It's a
you can hear
women's
me
prison.
thank you, Tammy. Rose, if you can hear me real quick, put your email in the chat and I'll put it up here because I can't get to it or access it right now. So put your email up. And let me see here. Everybody for want to know what's going on with Carrie. Tim Man said this: the sign up form is broken. He's having website issues. Please email me at his email address, which is right there on the screen, guys, so you guys can keep updated on Carrie. And then Rose got on here and said, I'm in Queensland, Australia, just so you guys know. There it is. And she gave me the green light to share away. That means emails. And then MDL got in here and says, prayers for Rose. Tin Man said this: I'm not allowed to visit Australia. Wow, that's crazy. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Our good friend and highly educated John Doe gets in here and says Australia is basically under the rule of English law, more or less. Wow, it's crazy.
I wish our one friend that was from England that used to come up. We need to try and reach out to him.
Okay. And then Rose said, yep.
Cynthia.
Cynthia's in here. Hey, Cynthia, thank you so much for being here. Cynthia, I appreciate you. Hope you're doing good in your neck of the woods. Anyways, Rose said, yep, can come to my house anytime they want. Okay. And then Curtis said, England and Canada has a registry. That's crazy. All right. And there's Rose's email. Jot that down, guys. Screenshot it. Do what you have to and get a hold of Rose. Let her know that you support her 100% and go over there and say hi to her and let her know. And let them know Jay sent you. Just kidding. I'm in a good mood tonight.
You know, I'm a nervous wreck right now. I'm like shaking.
I'm just trying. I know I'm trying to lighten
Yeah.
the. I'm trying to lighten things up a little bit for you, Tam.
You're trying to help me over here. Is that what it is?
Yeah. And Cynthia said, "Surprise! I'm here." And Rose got in here and said this. Wow, I just saw a lightning strike. I hope I don't lose connection, guys. I'm having a storm now kick in here at my house. Are we? Are all are welcome to contact. There you guys go. And then Rose said, "Thanks, MDL. 34 lives is in here. Is he?" Timon said 34 lives. I'm not getting 34 lives in here. Am
34
I?
lives, yeah. Isn't it 34 lies or lives? I don't
Lies.
remember.
He was on my channel before. I'm
Yeah, he
having.
came up.
Is he here? I don't see him up here.
I think he was just saying his name because I couldn't remember his. I had his email. He emailed me
Can you
one
guys
time,
hear
but I
that?
would never went back.
Can you
No.
guys hear that? Yeah. Lightning. Well, they say, when something like that happens, you don't want to be on your devices because it can go right through this and shock me.
You only
um,
fry once, Shay. Come on now. Come
oh,
on.
thanks, Tammy.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
oh goodness.
Modern. I'm having too much fun, you guys. Registries are a big money ever. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, it is. So a heads up, guys. If I lose you, that's why I'm having a storm right now kick in at my house. Good old lightning capital of the state, Florida. I have lifetime supervision. I've been out 3 years. This is Trey Stone talking. I'd like to file to get off someday soon, but I think I should leave the tough on crime 5th and 11th circuits and get to another circuit judge. See, I don't understand why they do a lifetime supervision because that doesn't make any sense. Why they got to put somebody on there like that for a lifetime? Don't they believe in second chances? I don't understand that. That's ridiculous.
It's about the money. It's about all the.
What
It's about
what good does
like,
that do to keep somebody on life though? What good does that do?
hey, guess what? You know what? If we're concentrating on other people, you know how people will like talk bad about you and throw you completely in front of the bus
Yeah,
while they're
or
all
under it.
doing their dirty?
Yeah, or under it. Yep.
That's what it is. That's what it is. They're going, okay, I'm going to throw you under the bus, let the bus run you over, back up and run over you again for the
Speed
rest
bump.
of your life. Because if I do that, all the
Yeah.
people are going to be staring at you getting run over back and forth while I'm
Mhm.
over here doing the same thing that you went to prison for.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. You better get it up there. Imagine that.
Oh, you got to make me do it now? Okay, fine.
Yes, I'm going to make you do it.
There it is.
Uh, Go get yourself a sticker. Imagine that. Every time
Yeah.
somebody says something, you can go, look, the
Yep.
sticker says
Purchase
it all.
a purchase a sticker. Um, Oh, you guys. But yeah, so to recap real quick, guys, we're talking about how we solve problems. That we really haven't talked about that, but we have in a certain degree. But I think next week on our roundtable, Wednesday night roundtable discussion, I think, Tammy, I came up with an idea before I went live. I didn't bring it up to you earlier, and I do apologize for that.
Oh, no, I
But
don't care. You know,
but
I'm
I think
finished.
a topic needs to be addressed, and I think it gets shoved under the rug. And I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I want everybody's opinion on this. Next week on Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on our roundtable, I think we should talk about concept. That will tie into this and the other show we did. Because concept, believe it or not, and I get so sick and tired of hearing that one concept in my comment sections when I do my videos. And I'm pretty sure you've come across them too. If you can't do the time, maybe you shouldn't do the crime. Has anybody heard that concept before? If that concept,
The
ladies and gentlemen,
same
worked,
people that have broken laws will say
right,
that over and over again.
right,
They do not want to get in that battle with me.
right. If that concept is so wonderful and it works so great, somebody, if not half of America, must have missed that memo because we are the number one country for mass incarceration, and there's more people in jail and prison than are on the street. So somebody didn't get that concept. I think it'd be
Well,
perfect.
this is the thing, you know, anything that builds up the base, I call all of us the base. We're the foundation of this country. Every citizen that lives at I'm going to say lower middle class, because middle class, there's an upper and there's a middle and there's a big divide. I don't think we have a true middle class anymore. So lower middle class and below are the masses of what runs this country. They're your
Right.
factory workers, they're your farmers, they're
Mhm.
your trash guys, your
Mhm.
trash men and women. They're your work at the fast food restaurants. They're your gravy work at the. uh, You know, here's the thing: if the masses and the base would only be able to figure out a way to come together as a whole,
Yeah.
as a big unit. I'm big on this.
Yeah,
And
me
say,
too.
you know what? There's going to be no more self monitoring of courts,
Mhm.
of Congress, of judicial stuff, of policing, even on the most basic level of who we elect to be our sheriff in our town, our chief of police, and all the basic city council members, school board members, everything. No more policing of your own agencies. If we
Oh,
went against that and we made, like I've been telling you guys a little bit lately, kind of breaching on it because I've been doing a lot of brainstorming, talking to other people. But I think that if we come together, I have
sorry.
it here too. We got a storm out in the Gulf. That's what's causing all this nonsense. Y'all are getting it. We're getting it. There's a
Oh, okay.
tropical storm
I
out in our
forget. I
Gulf.
forget that you're kind of close to me. So whatever I'm getting, must be getting then because I'm. It's
Yeah.
kicking in. It's getting
Texas,
wild.
Texas is sending it to you. I'm sorry.
Thanks,
And you'll
Texas.
send it back to me. It's okay. We're used to it over here at these Gulf
Sharing is
nations.
Karen. Sharing is
Sharon
Karen.
and Karen. But if we could get into a proper base and start forming our own. Listen, the government is corrupt. It does not work. Their systems do not work. They are not built for the people and by the people. It's a bunch of crap.
That's a good question.
So, when you go file a complaint, so the internal affairs has to go and investigate their own, and they're going to really bust their own. Or are
Mm-hmm.
they going to throw it under the rug for certain people? Oh, well, he did this one thing one time in his whole career, or she did this just once in her whole career. We don't want to ruin a 30-year career, but they unalive somebody, or they buried several.
Imagine
And I
that.
hope I do not offend anybody. I want you to know I'm very, very mixed, even though I look white. Um, they buried a lot of black people
They do.
in Mississippi and in Louisiana, right behind the jails.
Yeah.
Mass
Yeah.
graves. And
Yeah.
where is that in the media? It came for a little while and everybody was bitching about it and up on it, but now it's gone.
Yeah.
And what about the Mississippi 6? And what about the ones in Alabama that are doing all of the organ harvesting? And that's just Alabama got caught. How many more states are doing that? How
Right.
many more states are doing that? This very country was built on the same people they're enslaving every single day. And they are
Mm-hmm.
giving longer sentences, longer times, holding them longer. Texas made a surplus last year. A
Mm-hmm.
surplus. Don't complain to me that taxpayers are paying all this money to take care of each and every prisoner. No, the prisoners are out in the fields doing their dirty work. They're making commissary items for other states and their own. So, me, myself, and I, when I purchase something for my husband, it's made by a prisoner in Texas, even to include shoes on their feet.
Right.
This whole country was built on lies, slavery, corruption, you
Well,
name it. And we
fake
have to change it
fake promises too. Promises not kept is another one.
because they never intended to keep them.
Right.
You know that Robin Williams wrote, there's a quote that goes around about him that he wrote. stating we should let politicians wear jackets like NASCAR does their sponsors for the car. That way we know which way they're going to vote. Now tell me that's not like accurate.
Right.
Can you
No, that is
imagine if our
no. That I'm
senators,
sorry. That is accurate. No, you're correct. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah,
let's buy them all t-shirts with all their sponsors. How about what's in their stock portfolio?
yeah. Whoa.
What's Cynthia say? I'm sure many more states, they just haven't been caught yet.
Absolutely.
I agree, Cynthia. Sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No. I was agreeing with Curtis. Curtis is right about that. Yep. No, you're right. And just for clarification, guys, I know this is gonna be all weird and whatnot. Just to show you guys on the screen, I know this is the getaway. There's that storm.
Yeah, we got the same thing.
The blue dots where I'm at. If you guys can see it on the screen real quick, and that's heading my way. It's hitting. I can see it in my window. So I might have to end this short. Anyways, so Rose said this: S offenders legislation is built on lies and false statistics, just like here. Correct. Absolutely correct.
That's because the real ones, like, I don't want to say real ones. Listen, people have problems and issues that they grew up with. Some reoffend because they were offended upon. Some have mental health issues or other things that they didn't work out, that they misconstrued one thing for another and need help. I'm not here in judgment of anybody. There's only one judge, and he loves all of us.
Yes.
First and foremost. But the problem is a lot of these people that make this legislation are doing very, very Epstein Island, and there's another island, and then we have the whole Oprah Winfrey thing that's coming out. Africa's charged her with some child crimes.
Oh my god! It's just weird how all the big players are starting to get attention now. Mr. Beast is up next. If you guys don't know who Mr. Beast is,
they said this is the year of truth. Something about
and they said, and you know what, Tammy? What's funny, right? You know what's funny, Tammy? The truth never sells, but it looks like it is now.
It is, but what I have a problem with it seems to be racially motivated because they've gone off of one race. I'm sorry, I know, Jay, that me and you are very light skinned, but I have to tell the truth where it is.
You're good.
And listen,
you're good.
It seems to me like they're focusing more on the darker skinned ethnicity.
I wouldn't.
All those
it seems like it.
Light-skinned folks seemed like it came and went pretty quick, but we're sure letting the P. Diddy linger around a lot longer. And I'm not saying he didn't do things or not. That's not for me to decide. I'm not on his jury, thank God. And I don't want to be. But I'm just saying, if we're going to have some kind of judgment or we're going to do something, we need to do it in a fair, unbiased way.
That's what I'm saying. We need to take that out of our system. I think our system would be better in a sense if we took out, and the money, because money is the root of all evil. You guys know that. And take that out and see what happens. I mean, if we take a few of those issues out, I think again things would change. And then John Doe's comment here says the problem is that those in power absolutely think that law enforcement can't or won't build a case, and they usually do. They'll find a way. If they can't build it, they'll find a way to build it. We need an independent agency that sits under the Chief of Justice offices. I 100% agree.
I agree, and we need to have one on each state level, I believe, too, to be honest.
Right. And on top of that, term limits. There needs to be term limits.
Yes.
My good friend Trey said this: the registry violates the UN human rights of the ability to freely move within your own country. Absolutely. Like the Berlin Wall. Great example. And the right to enjoy your privacy, like communist China. You see, he makes a great point there.
Yeah.
That law that we've talked about on certain other situations is majorly unconstitutional. Fourth Amendment and Fifth Amendment. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Trey. Spot on. Tim Man says this, but let's not kid ourselves. Horror people are also judged by their skin color. Yeah. Example: white people are racist, sexist, bigots, etc. Yeah. Look what they're calling Trump, and he's a white man being called racist. MDL said this, and thank you, MDL, for being in here. Appreciate you. Reoffense is mostly marketing. Dark skin tend to have less support overall. It's just history. Yeah.
I agree with you. Another advocate friend of mine, MDL, on that. She was telling me, and she advocates quite heavily in Mississippi, if that helps. But the families just absolutely abandon them. Most of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. Huge portion. It's really crazy.
Tin Man, you're something else. I didn't say that. I said term limits. You're something else. Turtle mints. I've never heard of those. You're something else. Thank you, Tin Man. Joan. God dang it. John Doe. I'll get it out. It's a problem when we can't get investigators with authority to enter a facility without a warrant. Yeah. E.g. Kalanga.
Example, okay. Kalinga,
yeah,
which has all the outward signs of Auschwitz, Birkenau.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. What would I do without you?
I don't know, but hey, I get tongue twisted. You should hear me at work after a while. I'm like,
I probably couldn't do your job. I'd be like, blah, 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 what did you say?
I do that sometimes. I'll do that. I'll make that noise, and I'll just tell them, "I'm sorry, I'm tongue twisted right now, and I'm having a Monday on a Friday. Is that all right?" And they'll laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, MDL said this for you guys that don't know. Reoffense rate is 5%. It's actually 3 to 4%. It might went up a little bit, but it's 3 to 4 to 5%. Yeah.
Well,
compared to other offenses.
MDL, do you have the statistics? Because I had a discussion with somebody the other day, and I don't.
They're saying way high. It's not high.
No. They're so full of it, and they're least likely to reoffend too. By the way, as far as that crime compared to some of the other crimes that go on, they're less likely to reoffend population-wise within the. If you look at those, but statistics. Speaking of women who offend, I told somebody, I said, you would not believe how many women that it gets swept under the rug that they offended compared to men. Like, it's outstanding. Like, from what I've seen and what I've gathered, even witnessed working an internship at a substance abuse for teens. Let me just leave it there. There were a lot of women that offended upon their children or engaged in the offense with a man.
Yeah. And Rose hit that on the button. It's 21% for the robbery and home invasions. It's like, I think, up in the 80% bracket, if not when it comes to drug related crimes or drug issues. So, I mean, come on.
Which some people offend under the influence. And we're not just talking about those kind of crimes, but the R with adult on adult. Mm-hmm. A lot of times there's alcohol or a substance involved in that crime.
Yeah.
DV. Well, I think we can say that one, can't we? Domestic.
DV. I'd just say DV.
Okay, so you guys know domestic. I'm pretty sure you guys know, but in that there's a lot of substance abuse. And why? So when I say reoffend, I guess I come wrong about it, but I'm not talking about just that crime. I'm talking about, okay, so everybody knows, like, cycle of abuse. What is that one?
You asking me a question? I'm sorry, Tammy.
No, I'm saying, what does John Joe say? I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is a problem when we can't go in a facility and observe the goings on. Right. That's how Hitler hid the gas chambers from his own people. Yeah. See, and I agree. We need, believe it or not, we need to bring like the bigwigs, the politicians, even our governors, whoever needs to go into our prisons unannounced and go in there totally surprised and see how things are running.
I want an independent panel to do that. Specifically that they have nothing else to do in the state that they live in and
Hmm.
pop up inspections of jails, prisons, and
Right there, too.
one
Absolutely.
we leave out a lot, and I think we need to do a podcast on this, foster and orphanages. I know that's an old word, but I don't know what they're called now. I mean, some of them still are called orphanages. Foster homes and juvenile facilities. There is a young lady running in the state of Texas for office that is backed by our governor here. There
Hmm.
are some good things that he does every once in a while. Emphasis on every once in a while. Um, I'm just saying. And he is backing her 100%. And she is a product of coming out of being heavily abused through the juvenile system and the foster care system.
Hmm.
Folks, when they leave foster care, not every foster care home is nice, number one. Number
Well,
two, some people just do it for the money and then they put the kids out at 18 with a
hmm,
little cash in their pocket. It's not much, doesn't go far. These
yeah.
kids have nowhere to go and they end up homeless and they end up start committing crimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And man, you guys are on fire tonight and spot on. I say it all the time. Like Rose said this, a court of law is supposed to be about logic. Logic waved bye-bye to a lot of people nowadays. So it's
Yeah.
common sense. Common sense don't exist anymore either.
Do you guys in the chat, and I see what you said, I agree that it's not all about the numbers. I was just curious in the percentage of what in your dealings with the public, what you saw with the females with that specific crime. But this is the thing, logic, I don't know if that exists, Rose. I'm sorry.
Not no
People
more.
don't, not anymore.
Well, and let me back on what MDL said right there in the comment. You guys can see right there. He said this: they won't break the system that gives them power and wealth. Yeah, absolutely. If something's not broke, why fix it?
But that's
Yeah.
where revolutions start and things change, because sometimes we get tired of being pushed to the point where we have to step over. We are the masses.
Yeah,
And I'm
we
not
are the
saying
people.
start a riot or go out and do things. I'm not condoning that. The way we get them, like John Doe said, and I agree 100%, and I think Trey and Curtis said it too, is through we have to beat them at their own game with the legal
Yeah,
system.
reverse psychology.
We have to use those laws and we have to start having class action suits. We have to
Yeah,
start getting some attention the right way. The only
yeah.
way we really can beat them.
We can't do nothing sitting on our butts.
No, can't talk about it, can't
You
preach it
know,
and not do something.
we gotta physically go down to our capitals, people. We have to physically get out there and be heard. Picket signs. Everything helps when we go out there in a physical form and do what we can. And I know it takes a lot of time, energy, money, and everything else to do that. My goal is eventually get out there and do that, but financially, I cannot.
No, what we can do, and I've been giving a lot of thought to it, is maybe get a whole panel of us and just um possibly being able to go to be sponsored at paid events to go and
Hmm.
talk to people and teach and educate what we're advocating.
Hmm.
We have a lot of knowledge between all of us. We've done a lot of
Oh yeah.
information gathering that
Hmm.
would be very helpful to youth, and
Hmm.
we need to let the world know what I didn't know before my husband entered this mess.
Yeah, it opened your
We
eyes,
need to
didn't
get
it?
people
Yeah.
like me to see how we can do this to people, just destroy their entire life
Hmm.
over corruption.
Yeah.
I
Well.
can't, I just can't, I can't. I'm just shaking my head right now. I just,
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns for either me, Tammy, or the guest here tonight for MDL, Modern Day Leaper, please put it in the comment section. If you guys want to get a hold of me, please do so right here. My email is in the ticker, which is, where'd it go? Right there. Oops, right there. Anyways, voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com, guys. Again, voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Get a hold of me, and we'll work out whatever problems that we may have or you have, and go from there. Here's your opportunity to ask questions for MDL. If you guys are new here, please go over there and sub to his channel. Show him some support and love and respect, and let him know Jay sent you, so he can continue his mission like we're trying to do with ours. I believe getting everybody up to a certain level will make change in this country. That's where I'm at it. Curtis said this, Rose, I don't know how you stay positive. That's a great question. Just like with me, I stay as much positive as I can, even though it's a bumpy road and a hard thing to do. And Curtis also said, Rose, thanks for your positive words. Absolutely. And Tin Man said this, Rose, and the only people I have, I lost my spot, have even know to go to prison for bad checks is women. I believe in equal application of the law. Interesting. I get educated every time in these shows. Thank you so much for that. MDL said SO March.
I agree. Let's do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Ready. Let's go. I'm ready.
Just name the place, I guess. I don't know if I can get there though, but I'll figure it out. Rose, thanks for your positive words. And then Timman says, love it, Leaper. Absolutely. I'm going through these chats fast, guys. Vicky got in here. It really has opened my eyes for sure. Absolutely has. And people don't realize it until just a little bit of education changes your mindset. Timman said this, we should do an event in March called that. Yeah, March would be perfect actually, because that's when spring kicks in. It's not so cold. John Doe says this real quick, guys, before we get out of here. MDL, that's why we need people in office that don't have a love of money. If the RNC wants to preach Christianity, they need to damn well practice it. And we know what happens to, absolutely.
What happened to Sodom?
Sodom, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say that, sorry. Curtis said, I've seen his podcast. Yes, I support MDL. I'm subscribed to his channel. Tin Men said this, subscribe to Modern Day Leaper. MDL, please put your link up if you can. I don't know if I can. If somebody has his link, share it in the chat so I can put it up. Rose said this, I get down. Sometimes I cry. Yeah, we all do.
And you have to let it out. You can't hold it in, guys.
Right.
I mean, just got to keep going and keep pushing for the better and the better.
Yeah. And Vicky, thank you so much for being here. Have a great night, Vicky. I'll see you on Wednesday, hopefully, and all other shows that I do here on my podcast. Thank you so much for being a supporter and showing your love and respect here. Good night, Vicky. Take care. And then Rose said, bye, Vicky. And then so March in March. Yeah, let's march in March. Absolutely. Curtis said registry affects everything. Including relationships. Yep, absolutely. I know, my friend. I know. Make him a moderator so he can. Oh, great. Oh, I will do that right now. Thanks for reminding me, Tin Man. MDL, I'm going to make you a moderator right now. There you go, MDL. You are now a moderator, so you can put the link to your channel in the chat right now. So MDL, if you can hear me real quick before we bounce out of here, and thank you so much for being here. You are now a mod. You can put your link to your channel in the chat live, and people will check it out.
We appreciate your insight and being in here.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have a conversation sometime. I'd like to learn some things.
Yeah. Modern, absolutely. Modern, if you have your email, put your email in the chat too, Modern. Okay, John Doe did it for me. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
I think that's his channel.
So I want to say something that one of my best friends says all the time. Shell, she's not in here tonight, but I'm going to say it. And this
Go
is
ahead.
something that really helped us a lot. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
I agree.
Just think
I
about
agree.
that. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And every problem has a solution. That was from my dad.
Well, that's thank you very much for that, Tammy. I appreciate that
You're welcome.
because it's so strong and powerful. If we can't get past those few things, how can we ever heal or get better or fix things if we can't do those things?
Anything that breaks can be fixed or made into something better. I'm on a philosophy kick tonight.
No,
I'm about to break out and rap in a minute.
Yeah, preach, Tammy.
I'm getting there. I'm just
Trey
not
Stone
as good
said
as
that.
Eminem.
Oh yeah, Trey Stone said this. Leaper, is it leaper or leper? I don't know. Teaches us to confront and move past your past. Absolutely, messages any ex-con needs to hear to rehumanize themselves. Absolutely, spot
I
on.
agree. That's inspiring. Very inspiring, guys.
Thank
All
you,
of you
Trey.
guys inspire me every day.
Yeah, you guys do
Be
too.
better and do better and fight harder because, yeah.
Okay, there's his channel, guys. Just so you guys know, these podcasts that I do, and I'm pretty sure it's also the same with you, but these podcasts are done and they soothe me. Do they soothe you? These things help me to go, about my day and help me because look, I've been screwed over by the system like a lot of you in the chat. I want to take that screw job, I'm just going to keep it real, and pass it down and teach others so it doesn't happen to them. That's my goal. That's my dream. I want to take what happened to me so it doesn't happen to somebody else.
So think about it this way. It's kind of like our childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have some similar things to mine. You're on the hamster wheel.
This will be your closing argument, Tammy.
Okay,
this will be your closing argument. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Two kids, mom and pop. We're all on the hamster wheel, and grandma and grandpa, right? Grandma and grandpa did it to mom and dad, so they just keep running on the wheel behind each other. They're not going anywhere. They're just running on that wheel until one of the kids says, "You know what? What are we doing here?" They jump off the wheel. They explore. Oh man. Okay, there's a door over here. Oh, I can get out. And I can do this and I can do that. We have to change the thought of processing things the same old way we always have, or sitting back and saying, I hate this. I absolutely hate when people say, well, that's just the way it is. Okay, well, don't bitch about it then if you're not going to get into the solution phase of this thing, because you're not helping. You can live in your just the way it is, but we don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and to add to that, if I may, we don't have to always continue to live in our past. We have to move forward.
We have to move forward.
Yeah. And we have to live for the future, even though it's not here, but we can't always continue to look in the rear view mirror. We don't drive like that. We drive ahead. We drive looking ahead, I should say. We don't drive looking backwards. So it is what it is. Thank you, Tammy, for that. That was inspiring. Trey said this: Jay keeps me stay connected. Reminds me there is more to do, more than just me. Man, these words, these sentences and phrases from you guys
really be crying by the end of the night.
Really pull my heartstring. Trey, thank you again so much, my big friend, that you are doing what you're doing and saying what you're saying. It means a lot to me because I don't get to hear that much from a lot of people, believe it or not. And those kind words make me continue the fight. We got to continue this fight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not doing this for money. And I keep saying it and I'll keep saying it. I'm not doing this for popularity gain. I'm doing this because I give a damn.
Or else you'd
That's who
be
I am.
out with all those others non-advocates that are
Or I'd probably be
there.
back in jail.
Yeah,
I'd probably be back in
exactly. There
prison.
you go. That's true. When you think about
Rose said this: Jay and MDL helped me feel less alone. Oh my
it.
God, you
Oh,
guys. Thank you guys so much for your kind words. I love and respect every one of you. I wish I can give you guys a hug, but I'm going to give you a virtual hug. Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. You guys mean a lot to me. You're not going to get this from a lot of other people that obviously have different mindset. You guys obviously get it and know what we're trying to do here. I mean that to the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so much for that. Uh, MDL said, "Thank you, Tammy. Love you much." And John also said, "Send a heart." Thank you,
thank
guys.
you guys so
Thank you,
much.
John.
You don't know. I'm like teared up over here, and I can't
What a very
like.
moving event. So, thank you, Tin Man. Appreciate you. So, guys, real quick before I bounce out of here, I got some uh, ideas. I want to ask you guys some things, and I want your guys' opinions. I want your guys' statements in here. Like, for example, show ideas, content ideas. If you have a topic that is dire and important, if you will, to talk about, let me know either on here now or in an email, voices from insideoutgmail.com, and get a hold of me and let me know what you want to talk about for future broadcast. Okay, because again, we put what we can together with me and Tammy, and we do what we can to bring some education, if you will, to the table, because education is important to me. I love it. So let's see where we're at here. The problem is we need to teach advocacy skills. Yeah, because believe it or not, you can't be an advocacy if you don't know what you're doing. You have to have a little bit of insight and some knowledge before you get up in front of people and do this. This is not
And
an
you
easy
have
job.
to know. Yeah, and you have to know, like
Mhm.
for your local area or whatever you're advocating for, even if it's not prison reform
Yeah,
or
it can be anything.
getting rid of certain damaging, terrible, 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 crappy laws that were passed in the heat of stupidity,
Hmm.
like the registry, for
Yeah,
example. It needs to go bye bye. It's not doing
I
anything. It's
I think
making
it'll
it
be.
worse on victims, to be honest.
I think
I
if we
think
get
it's
it,
coming from victims.
I think
Sorry.
if we get it completely gone and abolished, I think it'll change a lot of things and make people's open people's eyes. You know,
I
to a
think
different
so.
perspective. Yeah,
I
it
think
right
so.
now it's just a tool. It's just a tool for the vigilantes. Last comment, and I got to bounce out here, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Timon said this: the police here know we are all human, not the haters in Florida. Yeah,
Here's one more I think we need to read. It's really important.
go ahead,
Employ
Timmy.
yeah, that one. Employment, homelessness, getting a safe place to stay, telling people about your conviction, who to trust when,
Yeah,
etc. I
yeah,
agree, and I'm working very, very heavily. I'm using Jay's input and a couple of other people that I trust very deeply. I am working very hard on just that, villages, uh, based off of a nonprofit system that I'm trying to create the blueprint as I go,
yes,
where people can come out reentry, working with parole officers and local judges that do, the few and the glaring judges that do actually care, and getting people out and getting them, the ones that they know really, really are ready to go, and get
Mhm.
them, even if they come out, have to go to a halfway house to get their substance abuse, whatever they need to do there, and then come to one of the villages, like
Yeah,
say one that want, anybody wants to start that up. I know Wanda wanted to start one up,
yeah,
Tin Man and
I do.
Jay and myself. And once I get the blueprint, and I'm not trying to take all the credit, I just, there's just some stuff you just have to do. And so I'm doing it because I need it done a certain way so that it
Mhm.
fits the mold for anybody, like a, like here's a book and here you go.
Yeah,
Here's what you need to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. and share that knowledge. I don't want to make money. I'm going to be fine where I'm at. But I want other people to spread that knowledge for free to them so that they can start their own. Okay. And so that's the housing's important. Good night, Leper. I appreciate you so
Yeah.
much.
MDL, thank you so much for being a guest here, and thank you so much for being on my podcast. Hopefully, I can jump on yours one day once you get everything figured out when it comes to your, quiet spot. I get it; some things are just beyond your control. I respect you nonetheless. Just keep me updated on your process, and we'll go from there. I'm looking forward to being on your podcast. With everybody in the chat, Tin Man, MDL, John Doe, Trey, Rose, I can't forget about you. Curtis, you know who you are. And I think, gosh, where did everybody else
Vicky,
go?
Cynthia.
Vicky, Cynthia, I know Vicky, Cynthia, and that other lady that was in here.
They
Man, I'm
may
bad.
not be. They may be just watching and can't text or whatever. They
There's a
may be
bunch of
doing
other
something.
people that get in. Right. There's a bunch of other people that get in here that don't show up because of other platforms, the way this thing's set up. Wanda was in here. So Wanda, if you're listening, thank you so much for being in here. And Debbie Tober. Thank you. That was who I was. Yeah, Debbie. Thank you guys so much for being in here. Again, like I said, if you guys have any topic ideas or anything that will benefit or help this podcast, please let us know in the email or in the chat. And one way or another, I'll get it. You guys know how to get a hold of me. Make sure you spell my email, guys, right? Because I've been checking my emails, and if you've been getting a hold of me, I'm not getting them for whatever reason. And some of them, believe it or not, are going to my spam. I don't know why. So make sure you
sometimes.
just make sure you spell it voices from inside out at gmail.com. Make sure you spell it the way you see it. Or again, like I said, I won't get it. With that being said, thank you. Go ahead, Timmy.
I have to interrupt you. You need to do one thing because Modern wasn't here Friday. So Wednesday. So I hope he is here to witness this. I don't know if you could put it up, but I want you to put up your t-shirt design. I want him to see it. And I want you to stand up one more time because it's very important.
Okay, 1 second. I got to see if I even have it. Uh-oh.
I know you do somewhere. Come on, I know you do.
I know. Give me 1 second. It was, where did I do with it? I have the design. I have the design. I don't have it on a t-shirt, but I can just put the design up. Would that work?
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. They'll all know.
Okay. There's the design. Come on.
Okay. Everybody, all you advocates out there, I want you to do something for me, and I want you to realize how important you are to all of us. I'd like you to get up and stand up, and I want the real advocates to please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Give yourself a pat on the back for every day being out there fighting this fight and this cause. For people that are faceless and voiceless, like the man that's investigating. That's Jay.
That's me.
That's me. That's
all of us.
Every other advocate that's in here in this chat with us, all of you. We couldn't do it without you, and we all have to stand up together.
Please stand up. That's all it takes. You can't do this sitting down.
And those shirts are available on Jay's merch shop.
Yeah, once I get I know.
I like the design you came up with, and I think you need. We're gonna figure that one glitch out. We'll get.
It's not even showing my stuff. Believe it or not, the store itself by itself is not even showing up on YouTube. I don't know why. Anyways, guys, real quick. Mark's in here.
Mark.
Yeah, hey Mark, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for being here. What is it? MDL said standing. Or he did. Where is it? Right here. My bad. Standing. There he is. And then Tim said, "I will sponsor the purchase of some shirts." Okay, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Trey said, "Pat." Mark's in here. Hey, Mark, how's it going? We're getting ready to sign off. Mark, I know you're. Mark's in here. Yeah.
Has he seen your shirt design?
I don't know. Hey, Mark, did you see my T-shirt design? Give me hold on a second. Stand up, Jay. Tim and I will do that right now. I'm standing up. There we are. We're standing up. I know I was supposed to do that when the thing got up, but you wouldn't see me anyway standing up with that design in a way. But anyways, I will help fund a few, Jay. I appreciate it, Tim, man. Thank you very much. But anyways, hey, Mark, while you're in here, Mark said this. Hey, all. I'm going to go ahead and show you that design real quick. I will be having this on a T-shirt. There it is. There it is again, guys. for your guys' viewing pleasure. Mark, this is going to be on a t-shirt. I'm the real advocate. Please stand up. Yeah, absolutely. And we're trying to get people to be serious about this so we can bring some solid change within the system. I'm fed up with it, and so is Tammy and everybody else in the chat. There it is, guys. All right. I will work on t-shirts. I will do what I can on that aspect. Tammy, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for being in here helping me. I really do appreciate you more than you know. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. Again, guys, Wednesday night, we're going to talk about something that I believe that needs to be brought to the table. And the reason why I'm bringing this up for Wednesday's night show is because it keeps coming up in my comments. And I'm sick and tired of hearing it. And then Mark gets in here and says, very nice, I like it. All right, well, maybe it will sell. But anyways, Tammy, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you and everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for your guys' continued support and all that. Tune in for Wednesday's roundtable where we discuss, concept or concepts. We've heard them all. And there's one in particular I'm getting so tired of hearing it. And we're going to break down why they keep saying it and all that. So I'm looking forward to that podcast. What about you, Tammy?
Oh, yes. We can hit that head on.
Yeah. But all right, guys, with that said, I'm your host, Jay. Thank you, Tammy, and everybody else. I will see you guys this coming Wednesday on our roundtable. Have a great weekend, everybody. Much love and respect to you all. Good night.